Opera La Moda, the place where fashion, opera, and identity intersect. My name is Francesca Federico, and I'm an opera singer who used to work in the fashion industry. Thank you again for joining me reporting from my small music room, where we still are for the time being because I still have construction going on in my apartment. So I appreciate you bearing with me through these trying times. So I came up with my idea for today's episode because I was thinking a lot about the lack of resources that young opera singers are given when they're being asked to create their image or create their sense of personal style. When I say resources, I'm talking, of course, about financial resources, because God knows opera singers are not given enough resources to be able to adequately provide for themselves in the clothing department. And B, when I'm talking about resources, I'm talking about avenues of inspiration or things to look to in order to figure out how to develop your own sense of style. As opera singers, we're essentially told to look to other opera singers to give us clues about how we should be dressing ourselves. I think this is a little bit of a strange idea because for a lot of other people in the entertainment industry, you have people like stylists who dress you, and of course, when you're on stage, you're wearing someone else's costume, but there are many instances, like in an audition, in a gala concert, in any kind of public function that requires you to wear your own clothing, where we're not really given any parameters or any kind of way to develop what we want to look like, aside from wear a long dress, wear a short dress, wear a tuxedo, wear a suit, etc. When you look at it, it's pretty strange to see that opera singers have been dressing essentially the same in an audition setting as they have been since the 1950s and 60s, when we look at our personal style and it has evolved so far since that time. I mean, athleisure as a concept was not even prevalent 5 years ago, and now it's essentially what everyone wears in their day-to-day life. So I want to look at the ways in which we can kind of expand our view of personal style as opera singers and figure out which avenues of inspiration we should be looking towards in order to develop our style in sort of a fresher and more interesting way. And of course, I want to be able to have you all be able to utilize your own closets the best way you can so that you're not always running out and buying new dresses. I wear a lot of vintage and a lot of secondhand clothing because I think that that's the best way of helping save water, help save fossil fuels, etc. So when I do these kind of like dressing in your own closet videos, it usually has to do with recycling the pieces that you already have and you might just not be using to their fullest extent. So today I wanted to suggest to you an avenue of inspiration that I look to quite often, which is runway shows. And at first glance, these might seem a little bit unrelatable because obviously designers are going to be creating things that are really visually exciting and diverse for the runway, but they may not necessarily work for your average trip to Trader Joe's. However, I think that these offer a really rich source of inspiration that are both modern and provide examples of fancier or more elaborate outfits that you could most definitely transition into audition wear. Specifically, I'm going to be looking at the Resort 2022 collections, which were just recently shown. So I'm going to give you guys some examples from 5 of the collections that I really enjoyed and ways in which you can reinterpret what you're seeing on the runway using items from your own closet. Okay, let's get started. This look is from German minimalist designer Jill Saunders' 2022 Resort collection. And honestly, I loved this whole collection so much I could have picked any of the looks from it. This is just a really simple, solid colored dress paired with some chunky brown boots and a statement necklace alongside some other jewelry. I very rarely see opera singers wearing boots to auditions, but I think they could totally be worn as long as it's not maybe a Doc Marten boot or something much more clunky or edgier. I like the idea of wearing a really simple dress with just a few fresh details. My reinterpretation of this look is a simple black dress with a fun silhouette and some brown boots that are similar to the ones in the collection, plus a statement necklace. My dress is from Nasty Gal, my boots are Saint Laurent, and I think my necklace is from Ann Taylor Loft. I'm wearing boots with a pretty short heel as my dress is quite short. I wouldn't necessarily wear this to audition anywhere on a stage because of the length of the dress, but certainly for a more modern company like a lot of the local opera companies here in New York City. The next outfit is from 3.1 Philip Lim, an American designer who is known for his sportswear. This collection was all about soft utility, and this is shown in his look here, which combines a structured pleated skirt with a soft sweater set. The part of this look that is notable to me is that you see a section of bare midriff between the bottom of the crop sweater and the top of the skirt. I think this silhouette is totally reworkable for almost any combination of tops and skirts, and you can really experiment with colors and patterns here. So you can see with my interpretation of this look, I have this vintage avocado green pleated skirt paired with a black and white gingham crop top from Forever 21. If you want to keep going with the cropped look, you could switch out the sweater for a cropped jacket like this black denim one from Current Elliott. I would probably go for the jacket rather than the cardigan just because I think it makes the outfit a little bit more formal. I'm wearing higher heels here because it looks great with this longer skirt. Here is a look from the Alberta Ferretti Resort collection. Alberta Ferretti is one of my favorite designers, in part because I love the colors she uses, and this is what drew me to this outfit and the collection as a whole. I'm really into golden yellow, tan, and orange tones, as you can probably tell from my outfit in the video today, so that's what I'm really trying to capture in my reinterpretation of the look. This silhouette is a little irregular as it shows a pair of wide-legged trousers with a long tunic or dress over it and then a jacket over the top of it. I don't think we need to layer quite as much stuff as this one shows, but here we have a wide-legged black jumpsuit that I'm layering under a top from Zara. There's a lot of wideness in the silhouette here that I'm really enjoying, and I also am wearing this vintage scarf to give it a little bit more of a pulled-together feel. I think you could definitely wear this for an audition, and you can make it even more formal with some embellished shoes or crystal jewelry. This look is from the London-based Korean designer Yudon Choi's Resort 2022 collection, and I absolutely love this look for an audition for several reasons. The silhouette is really chic and toes the line between being classic and incredibly modern. This collection had several looks that incorporated a monochromatic color palette, like these two corresponding shades of coral and pink. You also have contrasting textures here with a soft woven sweater and a silky midi-length skirt. It really looks like a cohesive set, even though it's just made from separates. In my reinterpretation of the look, I'm starting with this statement skirt from Tibby, which I would definitely call a hero piece if you remember my last video on audition outfits. And it's made of wool, which nicely contrasts with this purple top that is made from sort of like a silky polyester material. I think this silhouette works really well because it is close fitting and gives you sort of a consistent line throughout the look, but it's also very comfortable and not too tight, so you can easily sing in it. I'm using corresponding shades of pink and purple instead of two different shades of pink, but you can really go any which way with different shades of the same color or color family. The last look here is from Italian-Haitian designer Stella Jean, and I loved this fun and colorful collection. She said that the inspiration for this collection came from the idea of being a presence, being seen, and taking up space, and I love this idea. After a year and a half of being in pajamas, being at home, and generally having to shrink ourselves, it feels really refreshing to assert your confidence, and this really translates well to being in an audition, I think. I interpreted this look using a similar looking top with voluminous sleeves and a low neckline. FYI, I have a few tops like this, and my husband calls them the bullfighter's prize tops. And I'm pairing it with a more muted skirt just because for my body it looks a little more balanced. I bought this top forever ago from the H&M Eco-Conscious collection, and I got the skirt a couple weeks ago from a vintage store in Burlington, Vermont. I'm pairing it with a belt and some colorful shoes to give it a little pop. Although the patterns are contrasting, it's not too confusing for an audition because they belong to the same color or tone family because it's all in black and whites. So I think that this is fine to wear for an audition and it won't be too confusing for the eye. That is all I have today for my video on reinterpreting the looks from the Resort 2022 collections for your audition attire. If you have any suggestions on other collections I could take a look at, like the couture collections or just a regular fall runway, either from today or from the 90s or early 2000s, please let me know and I would be happy to do a reinterpretation or just an analysis in terms of its relation to opera and opera history. Again, thanks so much for supporting Opera La Moda. Don't forget to subscribe, clicking the button below, and be sure to follow me on Instagram at Opera La Moda as well. I'll see you next time. I'm not sure if I'll have a video out next week, but I will try my hardest to have a video out for you soon. Hugs, kisses, and signing off for now.